and welcome. Today we're going to be transforming these nails into something super cute. So go ahead and grab your nail supplies and let's do this together. I'm going to be starting off with the Cocoist color Lychee Nude, and I'm going to be putting it on my index finger and my pinky. These colors come in pots, so you need a brush, which I also got from Cocoist. I'll also link everything in the description box down below, and feel free to use the code PRECIOUS10 to save 10% on your Cocoist order. So we're just brushing down the polish and evenly coating it. Honestly, I'm going for a relatively sheer look, but I like using red, which is what we're going to use later, with this shade just because it's very, very neutral. And then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing to the pinky, and I'm just being really careful to make sure that I evenly coat and distribute the polish. I always like to go back and clean up things with my cleanup brush. I'm using acetone on this brush, and then I'm going to cure it for 30 seconds. Next up, I'm using this Chrome Effect Gel from Daily Charm. I really like it a lot. I'm evenly coating my nail just so that the chrome will stick better. It really does help give you that really good color payoff. I don't know if you've ever applied chrome and then it didn't come out how you were hoping for. This one really allows for an even transfer. So 10 out of 10 recommend. This does need to cure for 60 seconds, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. For my chrome powder, I'm using this Satin Watery Violet from Bonnie B. I bought this on Zillabeau.com. You can also use the code PRECIOUS10 to save an extra 10% on your Zillabeau order. And I'm just using my finger only because I don't want too much product to be on it. I really love the combination of purple and red, and this is going to give that nail a glowy effect underneath the designs that we're going to be doing. So I'm adding it on the pinky as well. Next up, I'm using this tiny color. It is this gorgeous, gorgeous opaque red. It's a bright fire engine red, and I feel like that suits my skin tone very well. I'm also going to be using this Macart number 3 brush. I got this one on Amazon. Oh, and the tiny gel came from Zillabeau as well. I'm going for a butterfly look, so I'm starting out by outlining where I want the wings to go, or the details on the wings, and you can see that my brush is evenly coated with polish, and that's going to help me be really precise with my lines. So after I paint the first one, which I usually like to start it in the middle when I'm doing this design, just so that I can evenly distribute from top to bottom afterward. One thing I really love about both the tiny polishes and the Cocoist polishes is that they are very, very, very pigmented. So you can use it as a solid color gel, or you can use them as art gels, whereas some brands you need 2 coats even when doing designs, or the color comes out very thin and you can kind of see through it. So definitely enjoy the pigmentation on these polishes. I'm going to try and fit in one more because I think butterflies usually have like a smaller petal at the bottom, and then I'm just going to go ahead and fill in everything that we've outlined. I like to take my time with coating this because sometimes what happens is if the polish is too thick in certain areas, when you cure it, it will bubble up and tear open. I don't know if anyone's ever seen that, but it's very frustrating and you'll have to take your design off and do it all over. It's also very unsafe to be around and exposed to uncured gels. So to have that on your skin or on your nails is no good. So I take my time and make sure everything is evenly distributed so I can get a fully even cure. You can see that purple chrome peeking through, and it just looks so nice along with the red. I feel like that neutral base that we used and the chrome, such a nice combo. Next, I just want to go into each of those areas or details and start perfecting the curves. That way everything looks more precise now that we have everything kind of filled in. And I'm doing this to each of those little sections. This is in real time, you guys. These things do not happen quickly, and we just want to make sure we get it right. Here's how it looks from my angle and the client angle. So I'm going to clean this up and cure it. I'm using the ultra glossy non-wipe top coat from Cocoist. It's my absolute favorite. I love the thickness. And I'm putting it over the pinky nail because I'm going to put a second layer of chrome, and I don't want the gold chrome that I'm going to use to interfere with the purple chrome that I put under. So we're going to use the same no wipe chrome effect gel from Daily Charm. I'm going to put a little dollop on my palette so that I can easily access it. Now this one is tricky because the gel is clear, so you kind of can't see all of the details that you're doing, but slowly go through all of the same motions to build out those arches of the butterfly wings, so that way you get a really nice look with your chrome. But to be honest, when we're done applying the chrome, you may be able to clean it up anyway if something doesn't look super neat, but it's easier if you just get it right the first time, so that way you don't have to do too much work afterward. So I'm just mimicking the same petals that I did. I think I'm going to do 3 on this finger just because it's a smaller nail. So we'll go ahead and do that outline and then fill in all of the other sections. You want to make sure you're really intentional and paying attention to where the clear gel is not going, because we're going to be applying a chrome over this. And so if there's an area that is unsaturated, we won't be able to have the chrome on it. I mean, of course you can add it afterward, but yes, be very intentional and make sure you double check to make sure all sections are saturated with the chrome gel. I'm going to cure this for 60 seconds, nothing more, nothing less, so that the chrome can stick very well. I'm going to be using this extreme gold chrome, which I also got from zillabeau.com. I ended up purchasing this color, which is the extreme gold and the shimmering gold, just because sometimes people don't like this very true yellow gold. I personally do, but I like to have different options so my clients can choose what suits them, and sometimes it doesn't look good on every skin tone. So I'm going to be using an eyeshadow applicator to apply the chrome, and I'm also going to be intentional just using the tip to apply the chrome in the areas that we just used the gel. So you can see I missed the spot because the chrome is not sticking in that area, and that's okay. I'm just going to add it right to the tip and recure and apply the chrome later. But that's exactly why you want to be super intentional when you're using the chrome gel. I'm brushing away all the excess powder, and that usually does a decent job, but now I want to clean up the outlines that I created. So I'm using just a little bit of acetone, and I'm very gently bringing my brush around so that I could make those more full arches and just clean up the design altogether. If you happen to accidentally wipe off something, just use your chrome applicator and apply a little bit more, and it should be good to go. Okay, so here's how we're looking so far. I'm honestly in love with how this is coming out. Next up, we're going to be using the No Wipe Overlay Crazy Top Gel. It is the thick version, and this is how you get that raised gel look that is super trendy right now. So I put a huge amount on my brush, the same McCart number 3 brush, and I'm just drawing like abstract lines, just kind of going with the flow, and making everything kind of like that raised gel look. I'm obsessed with 3D nail. 60 seconds. You want to make sure you do a full 60-second cure because it's so thick, the raised gel. And then I'm going over that with the chrome effect. Even though the chrome does take to the thick gel that we just used, I'm going in and making sure I get those other areas on my nail that don't have the thick gel so that the chrome will go on there as well. So you could either put the chrome effect gel underneath the raised gel or go back over it once you have the raised gel on, the 3D gel. Either way, you're going to get the same effect. I'm going to make sure I cure this for 60 seconds as well so that I get a good color payoff. And then I'm going to use the same extreme gold that I just used on my pinky nail. You see how well the chrome just sticks to that chrome effect gel? I literally love it. I'm so glad that I purchased it. It's been amazing and makes you feel like you're doing your job well. Sometimes when things just don't go right, or if you put it over something that it doesn't stick to, you just want to give up. But when you're using the right products and materials that work with your work ethic, everything just feels so much better. After looking at my nail, I realized it kind of looked like a pecan and I just couldn't even with myself. I'm like, okay, I made a golden pecan, awesome, but it looks cute, so I'm rolling with the punches. Next up, I am going to be using the same tiny gel and I'm going to do a solid color nail. The rest of my nails had designs and sometimes I like to do one solid color nail or sometimes I'll do the ring finger solid and the thumb solid. I don't know, it depends on my mood, but that's kind of like my signature. My clients seem to love it as well. So this time I'm just going to do my ring finger solid and let it live its best life because sometimes you need a little break from all the designs. I say this as I have designs on 4 out of 5. Whatever, it's a small break. My super cute ring is trying to make a cameo. It's from preciouslypolished.com. I'm actually going to leave a little discount code below, so if you want to get some cute rings to take pictures of the nails that you do, or if because you're a ring lover yourself, waterproof, tarnish free, I will leave that down below so you can check them out. With red polish, I try to be really precise because once it gets on the skin, sometimes it's really hard to clean off. But one thing I really like about the tiny gels is that they clean up extremely easily. So it looks as if I never got any on my skin, and we love that. I'm going to go ahead and cure that for 60 seconds. And then I'm going to put the same chrome gel on my entire thumb. I know I seem like I'm going all over the place, but this is how I plan out my nails. Sometimes I do write down my ideas in my notes, but this one is straight off the dome and I'm just going with the punches, seeing what looks cute at the time that I put it on. Anyway, we're going to cure this for 60 seconds. I'm using the purple gleam or violet gleam that we used on the index finger and pinky finger just to give that same sheerness because I'm going for red on top of this nail. So, you know, I already like that color combo. So we're going to go ahead and put that on. And I want to make sure the color payoff is really good. So I'm putting multiple coats of the chrome on. Okay, so using that same number 3 Macart brush, I'm going to outline a full fringe. I'm starting down below because I do want it to have an outline down below as well, but I'm creating my French arch first. It would have been cute to leave this as an outline as well. So if you're feeling different than me, go ahead and leave that as an outline. It looks cute like that too. I'm going to go ahead and fill in that French section, but options, you know. Try to be really precise with this as well because if you use your cleanup brush on the chrome, you'll end up taking off some of the powder. So try to be really precise with this so that way you don't have to do double work and reapply the chrome later. See, wait, the outline, you see, it is such a vibe. So options if you want to do it. If you're like me, then just fill in the inside of the French. It looks cute too, either way. And again, be really thorough in your placement so that you can get an even cure. Try to make sure nothing is thick in certain areas. Just evenly saturate your nail. Okay, once the majority of the work is done, I like to look back at it and make sure I clean up anything that's missing, and I like to do this really slowly again so that I don't have to use the acetone or alcohol, whichever you use, to clean up. I want to get it right the first time if I can. Okay, so I top coated my nails before this step, but the film didn't come out right, so I couldn't insert that. I'm using the Stay Put Jelly from Daily Charm to apply these Swarovski crystals, and I'm just using them at the ends of the arches on my index finger. I kind of have an obsession with gems, nail gems, so if I can find a way to include them, I'm going to. So that's what I'm doing on this nail. I'm going to add one on my pinky nail right in the dead center of that middle butterfly detail. And I like to make the little dots first so that I know where I'm putting my gems. I'm using a gem picker to place down the Swarovski crystal. I'm using flat silver. I feel like you can also use the AB crystals if you like. It's just a bit more of a flashy look. Okay, so sometimes when I'm using the gem picker, I'm placing it down and it doesn't fully stick, and then it just makes the crystal lose the facets because the gel goes on top and then it doesn't shine as beautifully. So what I do is I completely wipe off the gel. I reapply the dot down with the Stay Put jelly, and then I find a new gem and I apply that one because I want my gems to sparkle. I don't like when gel gets on top of them and then they look dim. Okay, here's how the manicure is looking so far. I feel like it's coming out well, it's evenly distributed, but I think I want to add something on my thumb, so that's next. Pretty much this entire gem selection is from Daily Charm. I really like their gems. They have cute and trendy things. I'm going to use this gorgeous little cross on my thumb. Obsessed. For gems that are much larger, I guess this would be considered a charm, right? I like to use tweezers and apply the gel on the back of it instead of putting the gel on my nail and then putting the charm on top, just so that I know exactly how much I need instead of having a big blob that I have to clean up later. So I use the tweezers and then I place it down ever so slightly. Do you guys like to place the charms facing you or facing other people? I feel like I like to face it to me so that I can see the beauty of the charm, and I do that for clients too. I'm like, do you want to see it or do you want other people to see it? So just keep that in mind. If I didn't mention, the Stay Put jelly needs to cure for 60 seconds. Okay, here's the finished look. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is it too much? Is it just enough? I mean, I already know the answer. It's just enough for me. I'm adjusting my rings because now it adds to the vibe. Preciouslypolished.com. I really tried to make sure everything spoke to each other and that everything was evenly distributed. I got a lot of compliments on these, so I would say it's a win. If you're gonna try this video, go ahead and tag me on Instagram because I love to see, and people who follow me love to see as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.